Number 9, Ben Walker. Number 36, Coleman Griffith. Number 24, Landon Rawton. And number 64, Jaden Spinks Evans. For Jag, number 8, Madarian Smith. Number 55, LaKevian Edwards. Number 17, Justin Rogers. Number 11, Posey. Auburn wants the toss, defers.
Hello everyone and welcome back into Duck Sanford Stadium, and I of course am Reese Kinder alongside me, Trip Upton. And Trip, you know, glad to be back in the booth again. Another week of Auburn High football.
Yeah, I mean, you've done this before. You're the, even though I am at the university, you are the experienced vet here with AHS Mass Media. Filling in for James Tippins this week. He's in Norman, Oklahoma, fighting the good fight, cheering on the Auburn University Tigers against the Oklahoma Sooners. So I got the opportunity. I'm so glad to be here. I've been with these guys for a couple weeks, helping out with Tiger TV, interning for our wonderful executive broadcast producer, Mr. Dillard. So now I am in here, and I'm ready to talk some Auburn Tigers versus some Jaguars.
Yeah, and we are just moments away here from the kickoff to this game. And it looks like Jags going to receive the ball first. And Joseph Daniel here with the kick, and it is underway now. We are underway here in Duck Sanford Stadium, and that one's going to sail to the back of the end zone. Looks like a little bit of stoppage play here. Looks like going to bring it back, maybe a flag or something. Maybe somebody wasn't set here.
Yeah, it looks to be maybe a false start. Someone a little bit too giddy to start this game. I can see why. The energy in the Duck tonight looking pretty solid. So we will be moving the ball up. So looks like it was them, not us. Maybe a little bit in stadium pulse.
Yeah, you know, I did realize right there it looked like one of their players might have been a little bit offside. So looks like Auburn's going to have to re-tee this one up and hopefully another touchback. You know, Joseph Daniel had a few touchbacks last week against Enterprise.
Yes, he's definitely got the leg for the kickoff. And, you know, he's actually set a personal best of 60 yards against Opelika on a punt. I know it's different from a kickoff, but looks like he's going to try and boot it through the back right here.
We are underway for a second time here, and that one's just going to roll all the way to the back of the end zone. And looks like Jags going to come out first here with LaKing Anderson at quarterback. You know, we mentioned in pregame, LaKing Anderson, more of a runner, but also is a left-handed quarterback. So, dude legit can't throw, but we'll see what he can do against this Auburn defense.
Yeah, against Hewitt Trustful, a good team, mind you. He had one completion the entire game. It was to the defense. LaKing, he is mobile. He is a dynamic player with the ball in his hands, and he is a baller. But it might be someone else at quarterback here.
Alone in the backfield, no running back. LaKing going to drop back here. Colin King brings the pressure. LaKing's going to throw this one deep and is intercepted by the Auburn Tigers. And they're going to return this one, going to the 20, to the 10, to the end zone. Touchdown, Isaac Benford with the pick six on the first play of the game.
Hey, that's how you start quickly. First play, maybe a potential wildcat or a different man in the backfield. It didn't matter. The Auburn Tiger defense able to pounce. Only one turnover last week against Enterprise, but they were able to get an Isaac Benford, taking it to the house to start scoring early for Auburn.
Yeah, huge score there to start it early, like you mentioned, for Auburn. And Auburn going to bring out the PAT unit here to make it 7-0, and a great start for the Tigers on defense.
Definitely. I think that's what you're going to need. You know, hey, why score points to keep the offense off the field? You can do both at the same time with excellent defense.
I think you got to jinx Jag there too a little bit. You said the only throw was last week against Hewitt's defense. Hewitt caught that pass, and Joe Daniel obviously with the extra point there. So now Auburn's up 7-0 after a first drive score. But you know, like I was mentioning, Auburn was able to get that pick six there, and you see.
Yeah, you see the replay here. They have a guy in motion. Looks like LaKing was lined up at wide receiver there. That was Madarian Smith at quarterback. He tries to throw it into triple coverage. Benford obviously jumps on it, gets a convoy of blockers all the way into a beautiful block by Levi Kelly right there to set up the touchdown. And it's a quick start, quick change of pace, but 7 points for the Tigers.
Yeah, huge defensive stop. So Auburn's defense going to have to come right back out after getting a pick six. So be very interested to see what this defense can do again, because obviously, as you mentioned, this Jag team not very good at throwing the ball.
Yeah, they've struggled offensively to start this season. They were blanked in the opener. They were able to manage 6 points their following week, and then against Carver Montgomery, the in-town game in the Cranton Bowl, and were able to put up 20 against Opelika last week, which is building on and making progress for this Jag team. And that's exactly what head coach Delancey Tolliver wants to do. He's in his first year with the Jaguars, 0-3 record, 0-2 in region, but in Region 2, it's 7A ball, you play a lot of heavy hitters. So if he can just continue that Bobby Bowden mentality of, hey, let's lose games early, but let's lose them closer so we can build on that. That's what he wants to build and instill a winning program in Montgomery.
Yeah, it looks like the Jaguars going to trot back out there again, and you see LaKing Anderson is lined up at wide receiver again.
This team, you know, I've seen a lot of reports with Tolliver saying, hey, we're going to play guys at different positions. We're trying to figure out what this team looks like.
Going to take it for himself here, and he's just brought down by Greg Williams. Greg Williams with the body slam there. You know, you mentioned in pregame, Greg Williams, a huge impact on Auburn's performance last week on the defensive side of things, and just making a big impact already.
Yeah, I mean, he actually was the one that had the block on the pick six, and turning into WWE's Chad Gable with that German suplex, able to put Smith into the ground safely. Only no gain on the play.
Smith lined up at quarterback again. One man in the backfield. Smith's going to run it to the outside. He's going to make a move, and Cortez Cooks brings him down. It's a fumble. I don't know if they're going to rule that a fumble, but it looks like the ref says down, yeah.
Yeah, official's going to say down, but a great heads-up play and chopping the tree down right there. Bringing up third down and minimizing a gain and potentially even getting a loss on the play.
You can see here Cortez Cooks, and that, I don't know. That looked like that could have been a fumble.
Unfortunately, we don't have the replay center in Birmingham like the Auburn University Tigers do to look at that play. But from our replays, might have been a little close.
Yeah, that looked like when he was airborne, that was a fumble, but obviously going to be a 3rd and 10 here. Jag still has the ball. Smith going to hand this one off. Going to make the man miss. He's going to go up some more yards there, and Cam finally brought down. It's another fumble, and it is recovered by the Tigers. Auburn gets a fumble recovery, 2 defensive turnovers.
Yeah, if you're the Jaguars, that is not the start you expected, obviously. You cannot turn the ball over against this kind of defense. If you're trying to do a David v. Goliath, you can't put the ball on the turf there. A great strip that looks to be from Aiden Parker.
Yeah, Aiden Parker, huge strip there.
Yeah, he had a great game last week. Probably was one of the second best guy right behind the ever prevalent Greg Williams. Able to get the ball, and finally we get to see the Auburn offense, even with 7 points on the board.
And now you see Jaden King in the backfield there for the Tigers. Casey Myers going to draw back. He's going to set his feet, throw this one. It's going to be complete to Joshua Askin. He's going to be brought down. Looks like his helmet came off there, and there is a flag on the field, so possibly a face mask or maybe some unnecessary roughness.
Like to see Kaysen taking shots down the field early. You know, the Pike Road transfer continuing to develop in this Auburn system following the former quarterback Kilgo. But this team, they're a young team, and if Kaysen Myers can start the game hot like that, they're going to be able to play well. Look at this replay. Gets the out route to Askew, his favorite target, and then a little bit of extracurriculars after the play and the shove. Can't do that. Helmet coming off. Looked like a personal foul, so the Tigers have moved up inside the 15, almost to the 10-yard line.
Man in motion. Going to hand it off. King up the middle for a few yards there. Gets about almost to the 5-yard line. Looks like the 6 there, so it'll be about looks like a 1st and goal, or 2nd and goal now for the Tigers. And Jaden King, the leading rusher last week for Auburn.
Yeah, he's been a force here, just getting his feet under him.
Going to throw this one to Hampton Jordan. Hampton Jordan's going to cut up, and he is out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Almost a touchdown for the Tigers, but it looks like the officials are going to mark him just short of that end zone.
Nice to see the tight end Jordan getting involved here. We didn't see him a lot versus Enterprise, able to go on the tight end screen. You gotta love it. He's able to get the block, run back, tried to cut up the sideline. Looks like he might have been in, but again, that's another play where we don't have a review center to look at it. That's okay. The Auburn Tigers are gonna be a yard away from potentially punching this one in.
It's gonna be a 3rd and goal here from the 1.
He might be able to get a 1st down right here.
Gonna hand this one off to King, and King is in for the score. Auburn is now up 13-0 after, a short offensive drive, but Auburn was able to look pretty efficient there. The penalty kind of helped a little bit, but Casey Myers did, we get him down there, and Jaden King able to finish it off.
Yeah, when you have to do those quick change, when you're after a turnover, a fumble, an interception, a drop punt, you've got to be able to take advantage of those opportunities, and that's exactly what Myers and this offense just did. They were able to get helped out by the penalty, but were able to run the ball successfully. We saw a lot of Jaden King, which is great, trying to replace the Auburn University star Omar Mabson, and the extra point is good to make it a 14-0 ball game. That's a hot start for the Tigers in this cat fight.
Yeah, really looking forward to seeing the Tigers. We were really looking forward to this the past few weeks. Since some of these games have been close as of late. The Oakland game, obviously, and the Enterprise game. Good to see the Tigers start off with some good momentum here in this game against Jag.
Absolutely, the Tigers have dominated the Jaguars as of late. The last time that Jag won, they weren't even known as Jag. They were formerly known as Jefferson Davis High School. Their last win was in 2015, 36-35. I'm 22 now. I was 12 then, so very much a, pretty one-sided rivalry here for the Tigers.
Yeah, now Auburn going to get ready to kick this one away for the 3rd time tonight now already in this game. And
hey, Joseph Daniel, he needs the repetition to be able to continue to develop into an all-world kicker that we know that he has the potential to be, so I'm sure he doesn't mind the extra duty.
This one's going to be another touchback for Daniel. That's just going to sail to the back of the end zone. And Auburn's defense going to trot back out here for the 3rd time already tonight. 2 turnovers forced already against this Jag offense. So looking for the Tigers to maybe get another one, make it 3 in a row.
Hey, you put your foot on the gas and try and push this Jag defense or offense. the D-line is definitely making things uncomfortable for Smith in the backfield. They're not allowing running lanes and just trying to get the ball on the ground.
Gonna be a handoff here and gonna roll to the outside. Gonna pick up a few yards there on the carry.
About 3 there. That's Christian Williams, the running back for the Jaguars.
Fumbled it earlier.
Yes, he actually also plays linebacker. It's another one of those, that two-way mentality that Coach Tolliver is trying to build with the Jaguars. Next man up. That's what you're going to see a lot of tonight. So if you see a lot of numbers you recognize, that is why they're playing both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, Madarian Smith trying to, obviously, Coach trying to get him in there a little bit, and Smith going to hand this one off again. Williams going to go to the outside, and he's just going to be brought down by a sea of Tigers defenders.
Yeah, looks like the Tigers were able to get all over that. I saw Logan Searso be able to get in on the stop right there. That will bring up a 3rd and 5, first third down of the game, but it is on the caveat of 2 turnovers before you even got there.
Yeah, and this Auburn defense has just been stellar all season. On third downs, they've been able to cover it well. So, Jag in a tough position here. You see 4 receivers at the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, I mean they were 4 of 11 on third down last week.
Gonna be a quick screen pass here. Brought down by Colin King. Colin King with a huge tackle there. Jag gonna have to be forced to bring out the special teams unit, or actually we'll see really quick because obviously some of these teams get down early.
Yeah, I mean, look at Colin King right there, getting to the ball and laying down and able to get the big hit there. He's been a really good force in the middle of that D-line, and looks like they could be going for it here, or they could be punting. I know that Madarian Smith has handled some of the punting duties early for the Jaguars, and looks like that's what we're looking at right here.
And Madarian Smith back to punt it here. And that's
high kick.
A very high kick there, and going to drop around the 40-yard line and just going to go out of bounds. So Auburn going to start with great field position again here. And only a few minutes into this first quarter, Auburn's going to get the ball for the 3rd time already.
Yeah, I mean, this is a trend recently against the Jaguars. They haven't scored a point since 2021 against the Auburn Tigers, and that was in a 40-7 loss for Jag. And then, again, formerly known as Jefferson Davis High School. So they are looking to try and beat that, get that monkey off their back, and be able to get some points against the Tigers.
You see King in the backfield again. King going to run it up the middle, run to the side actually now. Going to pick up a few yards there. And, one thing to mention too is this Tigers offensive line, some struggles early on in the season, but obviously going into last week looked really good against the Wildcats.
Right, and they are going to look to do the same thing after Timothy Miles is able to get the stop. Looks like they're going tempo, and looks like it could be a gadget play right here to Askew, which getting one of the best players on the team.
And Askew's going to score on this one, and he just ran it all the way to the end zone with ease right there. Just a huge play by Antonio Welch to run to the outside there and get a big touchdown for the Tigers.
Yeah, our camera, he's too fast. Our camera can't even keep up with him. Askew, one of a dynamic player for the Tigers. I was just trying to talk about, hey, this is try to give the Jaguar defense some credit, and Askew's able to get the ball on the end around and get a touchdown. It's come fast and furious tonight for Auburn.
Yeah, we finally get to see Antonio Welch, get a little bit of handles too, because he was able to hand it off as well.
Yeah, look, replay here, going whoop, able to get back, able to get around the D-line, and they're just not going to catch him. He is going to take it all the way, gets on the sideline, touchdown, and again, you can't teach that fast.
Askew's one of the fastest players on this team, on this Tigers team. Me and James have mentioned that the past few games, just been able to get outside and even go deep balls too. I mean, deep balls have been great for Joshua Askew as of late as well. So I'd like to see him get in the pass game as well tonight.
Definitely, he stuffs the stat sheet.
Yeah, and also, some other receivers that we haven't mentioned, like Cash Reef and Antonio Welch, we'd like to see them get a little bit more, catches tonight. Obviously, haven't been able to get some as of late in these past few weeks, but yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing that tonight. And Daniel's going to kick this away for the 4th time already tonight.
A lot of playing time early.
That's just going to sail to the back of the end zone. Auburn's defense is going to trot back out here on the field.
Joseph Daniels' kick goes in the end zone for a touchback.
Jag trying to, gain some momentum here, but Auburn already up 21-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah, you have guys like Greg Williams, Colin King, Cam Creighton, Carnell Jackson, the Arkansas commit. They've gotten in the backfield and made things uncomfortable. And that has forced a lot of mistakes when it comes to operation for the Jaguars.
Gonna be a fake handoff there. Smith gonna go to the outside. He's just gonna be brought down at the 20-yard line. That's Greg Williams again with a huge tackle. Now the Jaguars gonna be faced with a 2nd and long here, deep in their own territory. Yeah, we mentioned this Auburn team the past few weeks has just been, been able to do a lot on defense. Not a lot of turnovers forced, but glad to see it tonight already with 2 turnovers forced in the first quarter. Smith gonna drop back here. He's gonna try to find a man wide open. It's caught. He's brought down near the 30-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, it clearly looked like a busted play right there. The quarterback looking for the handoff on the sweep, but the sweep never came. Hampton Jordan able to be Johnny on the spot, was able to get the ball, complete a pass tonight for the Jaguars, which is going to continue to build that confidence. If they want to try and get back into this game, this is what they're going to have to do.
Yeah, and Jaden Williams came up with the catch there. First time we get to see him tonight for the Jaguars. Looks like a little bit of movement.
Yep, a little bit of movement early. The Doug Stanford crowd and the unit getting after it, trying to make it loud in a hostile environment, one you're not going to find anywhere else in the state of Alabama.
I know, one of the toughest student sections in the state of Alabama. Obviously really loud, especially for some of those bigger games.
100%. I come from a single A private school up in Georgia. This is a big 7A school in Alabama. Y'all student section is the size of my graduating class, so it is awesome to see.
Smith going to drop back. He's going to look to throw here. Since throws one to the outside, is brought down, caught, and it's actually going to be a first down. He's brought down there by Alex Gamston. Huge tackle for Gamston.
Yeah, a big passing play, able to get the first down. And that was Christian Jackson on the catch right there at wide receiver. Had a lot of room to be able to come in and make the catch, and the quarterback just having to get it to him. He was able to get a first down and move the chains for the first time tonight.
Oh, it's going to be a fumble snap here. Madarian Smith's going to have to run outside. He's going to just throw this one away, and it's going to be incomplete. Good decision-making there for Madarian Smith. Just going to take the loss of down, but not going to take, a big loss there, as that could have been a loss of 20 or 30. Yeah, a lot of quarterbacks, they want to play hero ball. They want to be, hey, I can make that play. I can get back to the line of scrimmage. You see it all the time with guys like Russell Wilson. Unfortunately, I don't think Russell Wilson is on either team tonight. Just going, hey, let me get the ball, let me go through what I need to do and get the ball out of bounds. That saves them yards, that saves them field position. And looks like we have a penalty. They could be moving the ball up. Yeah, it looks like it's going to move the chains as well. So Jag going to be in Auburn territory at the Auburn 49 here, moving the chains up again.
Yeah. Points need to be scored soon if they want to get back into this ball game.
Yeah, and last week against the Opelika Bulldogs, Jag was able to score 20 points, so look to get some momentum here, and it's going to be a handoff for the Jaguars, but going nowhere as the Tigers defense, Greg Williams, comes up with a huge tackle.
And it looks like the penalty that moved up the Jaguars, maybe potentially a late hit on the Tigers, hitting Madarian Smith after the whistle once he's trying to get that ball out. They just want to be aggressive. They want to get the big sack. They got to be able to heads up and know, hey, the ball's out, my hand's got to go off.
Yeah, and this Tigers team, not a lot of penalties called on them.
Very uncharacteristic from that, yeah.
Man in motion. Another man in motion here for the Jaguars. It's going to be a fake handoff. Smith going to just lob this one. It's going to be intercepted by the Tigers. Coming up with it is Greg Williams. He's going to be brought down in Auburn territory.
Yeah, Greg Williams again making his presence known today as he's done all season long, and getting the interception there is massive. I think he got one called back against Opelika or Booker.
It was Opelika. He got a big one called back, yeah, in a pick six.
Let's look at it right here. Looking for a short screen, but he's able to read it, jump the route, almost runs into his teammate number 46, and that Micah Bowerstock almost was able to get more yards and able to get a first down for the Auburn Tigers and let Casey Meyer and this offense continue to get in a rhythm and put more points on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and you saw Quinn Eccles get that big, big pressure right there from big dude Quinn Eccles is. You saw him make pressure and force Madarian Smith to throw that interception, and Greg Williams just making that case to possibly be Alabama Player of the Week again.
Oh my goodness, yes. He's a guy currently committed to North Alabama. I would not be surprised if a lot of more schools are interested in his services. And again, you said Quinn Eccles, great guy. He actually stops by Mr. Diller's classroom to talk shop with him and let us kind of know what's going on inside the program. And, good guy, great pressure. This is what Auburn High School is. It's a lot of good guys making great plays.
That's the third turnover forced tonight for the Tigers. It's like a little bit of confusion here, but
maybe a spot issue or maybe something else in the order of operations. Looks like they're having to relay messages between Coach Etheridge and Coach Tolliver for JAG, but we'll see what could be going on here.
Yeah, and last drive, obviously, the double reverse pass to Joshua Askew, able to score that touchdown. Just a great play drawn up by Coach Keith Etheridge.
Yeah, I definitely see a lot of the guy. I'm a Detroit Lions fan. I see a lot of Jameson Williams from Joshua Askew. He's good with the ball in his hands. He has great straight line motion. He's able to take a corner and hit it as well. He's a guy that could be on a watch for potentially going and playing at the next level and succeeding, especially if he continues to have a monster year like he's had thus far.
Yeah, certainly. So Auburn going to be able to get it set here, and Casey Meyer's going to drop back, sees pressure, he's going to throw this one deep, and it is almost caught by Joshua Askew, just out of the reach. Just out of the reach of Joshua Askew. Could have been a touchdown for the Tigers.
Yeah, and that was a reverse announcer jinx. I've talked about his straight line speed. He beat his guy directly off the line, beats the press, is able to take a shot with Myers, just a little bit too mustard on that hot dog, and was able to just miss on a touchdown by 2 or 3 yards.
Somebody in the backfield here. Myers just going to throw this one to Askew, going to check down. Actually, B.J. Collins with the catch there.
Yeah, he was able to get separation. Number 5, Angelo Andrews slips, gives him that separation he needs to be able to make it, and was able to move the chains here and get a first down.
Yeah, and B.J. Collins actually next man up for the Tigers behind Askew. A younger guy, but stepping up hopefully next year in that leadership role. And Myers going to check this one down here to Levi Kelly. Levi Kelly's going to get a block there from Antonio Welch. Kelly to the 10-yard line. He is out of bounds at about the 5.
Good play right there. Great blocking on those wide receiver screens from Auburn tonight. That's just something that not a lot of programs might not focus about because, hey, why do wide receivers need to block? They need to catch. I always think of Georgia Tech and Paul Johnson. He was like, I'm not going to recruit a guy that doesn't block to be able to play at the next level. So that was great blocking right there. Kelly able to break through the defense and able to follow his blockers for a huge first down, setting up Auburn with 1st and goal.
Jordan in motion here and King in the backfield. Going to pitch it to King here. Gets a block from Big Trent Pritchett. It is a touchdown for the Tigers. Jaden King rolls into the end zone with a huge block from Trent Pritchett. And Auburn now up 27-0.
That's why Pritchett is committed to go head down south with you, Detroit University. Jaden King able to get his 2nd touchdown on the night, number 2 for number 2.
Yeah, just a great block there from that offensive line. The Tigers, Trent Pritchett, big dude, very tall, and just outstanding for the Auburn Tigers. Daniel here with the PAT, and it is up and through. So the Tigers up 28-0. Another scoring drive for the Tigers, capping off that turnover.
Yeah, it's been a quick night for us. You see him in motion, kind of usually toss right there, a huge block, able just to make the man move, and it's able to be a score for Jaden King, last week's leading rusher, looking to be that again today, especially in the touchdown department for Auburn. And the hot start is continuing for Auburn. It's already 28-0, and the Tigers, I'm sure Coach Etheridge is loving it on the sideline.
I know, we're not even out of the first quarter yet, and it's looking really good.
Yeah, Auburn's actually only scored 20 points in the first quarter all season. They've already exceeded that by 8 in the first quarter, and we still have a third of it left to go.
So now Daniel's gonna kick this one away. Kick is up, And it's going to just sail to the back of the end zone here. Another touchback for Daniels. I mean, I don't think Jag needs to put a return man back there because literally have not been able to return it all night.
Yeah, I mean, he's right as rain right now, able to just boot it through the back of the end zone. They might as well just spot the ball at the 20-yard line after every single Auburn score, because that's what you're going to get with a guy like Daniel, who has the leg strength to be able to put it there.
So now Auburn defense going to trot back out here again. So far tonight, 3 turnovers forced for the Tigers, a fumble and 2 interceptions, and 1 pick six actually to start the game. So this Auburn defense looking to possibly get another one here. A man in motion here for the Jaguars. Smith just going to throw this to the outside here. Going to make a man miss. Going to cut up field. He's going to go out of bounds at about the 40-yard line there for the Jaguars.
Yeah, huge play by Christian Jackson right there. Able to go into motion. They look for him on the little motion bubble screen type. Here you'll see it. Is able to get outside. Greg Williams misses a tackle. That's very rare from him. And is able just to beat him down the sideline. This is what Jag needs to do. Let's get the ball on the outside. Let's get away from Auburn's front 7 and force the secondary to make a play. I think they can do that, but if for Jag, that's what they might need to do.
Auburn showing blitz here, and he's going to be brought down. Huge tackle there from big Carnell Jackson, the Arkansas commit.
Yeah, he just absolutely blitzed through the gap right there, able to get the stop, and after the big play, Auburn settling down and able to get the stop right there. Just bulldozed an offensive lineman to get the stop.
Yeah, and we saw last drive too. Jag got a little bit of momentum, got in Auburn territory, got to the Auburn 49, but Madarian Smith threw that ball away to Greg Williams, and Auburn was able to return it to the Jag 40 and end up scoring off that drive. So I'd like to see Jag possibly get a little bit further on this one.
We'll see if you see the clock malfunctioning. We'll see something to do with that.
Madarian Smith going to go down here. Carries for about 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, the quarterback keeper, that's what they're going to have to do. They have speed on this team. That is something they have an abundance of. And so you're going to, if you can get the ball into your playmaker's hands, a guy like Madarian Smith, they're going to find success doing that. And that's what you saw right there. It's not a lot, but again, it's those death by 1,000 cuts. That's what Jag is going to need to want to do today to be able to win.
Yeah, nobody in the backfield here for the Jaguars, just Madarian Smith alone. Auburn bringing pressure, and he is brought down by Greg Williams. Huge tackle again. Just another one of those WWE super slams by Greg Williams.
Yeah, he looked exactly like the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, hitting him with a massive spear to bring up 4th down. And again, Greg Williams on the outside. He's hard to stop, and he's going to hit you hard right there, and he can put him down for the 3 count to retain.
Yeah, Jag quickly trying to roll out their special teams unit here to punt this one away.
They're going to have D'Angelo Stevens, looks like, on the long snapper duty tonight.
Looks like the whistle blows early here, so possibly some movement or maybe a timeout.
Could also be looking at the end of the quarter here. Unfortunately, the clock is a little messed up, but it looks to be a penalty on Auburn. So they're going to move up 5 yards. Does this change Coach Oliver's decision to maybe go for it here? It looks like there's some motion on the sideline. I didn't see that, but they might be just going ahead and punting it back.
Yeah, it looks like Jag just going to punt this one away. I mean, obviously, good decision. You haven't been able to move the ball much all night. That one's going to be a high snap, and he's going to be able to get it away. Almost a blocked punt there, but actually going to be returnable here. He's going to roll to the 50, to the 40, and he's going to slip down there. Greg Williams, could do everything so far tonight. Just been able to tackle, get an interception, and even return a punt.
Yeah, I mean, he's been pretty great. Maybe you could give Myers the night off and let Williams take it at quarterback. I mean, he has been absolutely everywhere. So I know that these Jaguars might have nightmares because he's the boogeyman.
Yeah, and you see Cross Land, second string quarterback, trotting out there. Obviously, probably not going to play Casey Myers much tonight. Don't want to get him injured. Want to get him ready for next week's game against Moody. So Cross Land going to come out there now. Land going to throw this one here to Askew, a little screen pass. Askew going to make a move to the outside to the 30. going to cut up field a little bit, and he's going to be down at about the 25-yard line.
Number 11, cross lanes, pass
Again,
complete.
you just
Number
keep
7,
calling
Joshua
number
Askew.
7. Joshua Askew, he had 7 catches last week for 82 yards. I'm sure he's almost over that now with these short screen plays. And what I like about Askew is his change of direction. Look right here. He's able to get to the outside, stop, try to cut back in. It really didn't work out there because there was a lot of Jaguars on the prowl, but is able to get it, and he is going to
Like
be a good
Antonio
guy.
Welch there, yeah.
Cross lanes, pass
Yeah,
complete.
Auburn running a lot of tempo here, making it hard for us to try to talk about what's going on in the game right now. But tempo is something that they're going to be able to work with, especially with the amount of subs that Jag has to use. That tempo is going to work in their favor to tire the Jaguars out early. It looks like the end of the first quarter is
Yeah.
already upon us.
Looks like it's going to be the end of the first quarter here, folks. But Auburn up 28-0 against the Jaguars. But don't go away, because when we come back, we'll have the second quarter.
Gentlemen, it's time for your 2025-26 cheerleading squad. The sophomores, Libby Isbell, Swan Cock, Kaylee Reese, Jenna Stanley, Katie Wilson, Della Wright, the seniors, Millie Denicky, Ella Pierce, Stella Rogers, Allison Turner, Captain Raleigh Castleberry, Captain Caroline Denicky, Captain Katie Fordham, Captain Jamie Johnson, Captain Emery Slocum, and head coach Catherine Isbell.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back into Duck Sanford Stadium. Auburn up currently 28-0. Getting ready to start this second quarter here. And Cross Landon at quarterback.
Yeah, if you missed the first quarter, it's turnovers and defense. Auburn able to get 3 turnovers early, a pick 6, a fumble recovery, and then a Greg Williams interception. That's been able to set up this offense for multiple touchdowns and end Carson Myers' night early, as we're seeing land in the backfield.
And Land's going to throw this one here to Jordan. Jordan going to take a man with him to the 10, to the 5. Just absolutely able to take a man all the way past the 5-yard line there. Looks like the official's going to mark him down about the 3-yard line. But Hampton Jordan, just some great footwork. They're able to push him like an O-lineman.
A Mack truck. That's what Hampton Jordan just looked like. The big number 44 carrying a man almost 10 yards. That's impressive strength. He's been in the weight room with this strength and conditioning program.
You see Jalen Huff in the backfield now, and Huff gonna get the carry up the middle, and Jalen Huff is into the end zone for a Tiger score. So Auburn capitalizes off another great field position and gets another score.
Yeah, let's hopefully look at the replay right here. But what they were able to do right there is counter concept. You saw those pulling guards able to make a hole for the running back Huff, able to get him downfield, and was able to go in untouched for the touchdown.
And now going to be an extra point here for Joe Daniels. So far been perfect tonight, and that one's up and through. So Auburn up 35-0 to start this second quarter.
Yeah, I don't think this is much of a surprise, but this is the most they've scored all day. Look at that, able to just follow his blockers, get in the end zone, and a quick touchdown at the start of the second quarter to continue this momentum of offense for the Auburn High Tigers.
Yeah, now Auburn's kickoff team going to trot out there now. Obviously, so far tonight, Jag has not been able to do much. 3 turnovers in the first quarter. And Tripp, what are you looking forward to seeing from the Jaguars to start this second quarter?
Look, I mean, they have to stop the turnovers, point blank, period. That is what's been able to hurt them tonight. If you want to be able to pull an upset and get back in this game, you're going to have to control the ball. You're going to have to take it across the goal line for a touchdown. That's what they're going to have to do. If they can try and get it to the outside, you've seen success on screen plays, on gadget plays. The whole playbook needs to become available for the Jaguars. Meanwhile, on defense, they've got to stop the run. If you're going to let Auburn run it all night, guess what? They're going to do that because they need the reps and they need to be able to establish the run game for later this season. That's what they're going to try and do. And not a touchback here, but they're able to get the ball about the same to the 20. But if Jag wants to come back in this game, they've got to take advantage of opportunities. They haven't done so. They haven't controlled the clock either. Their offense hasn't been on the field a lot. I'd love to see the time of possession between the two teams right now. Jag needs to start increasing their number by a lot and get the ball and take long drives down the field to be able to score.
And now Auburn's defense is going to try back out there again. And like you said, that wasn't a touchback that time. It looked like it bounced in front of the end zone and bounced backwards. Got a little bit backspin on that one instead of going in the end zone. But
you have to note, it saves Auburn 2 yards.
Yeah.
Could be a big difference.
Now Madarian Smith, a little bit of an outside snap there. He's going to run to the outside. Cam Creighton going to bring him down. Huge tackle there from Cam Creighton. Don't know if he got forward progress. Maybe he got tackled behind the line of scrimmage there.
I see the vision there. You have the right side of the offensive line pulling. Maybe you get some blockers and get Smith into open space where he can make a play. That time, just the athleticism of this Auburn D-line, and specifically with Cam Creighton able to make the tackle, force out of bounds, lose about a yard, but maybe that's something they could find success in later. Just run away from Cam Creighton.
Yeah, I mean, Cam Creighton, one of the fastest defensive linemen out there. And now Jag faced with a 2nd and long here. Going to throw a little pass to the side here, and he's going to be brought down by a sea of Tigers defenders. Micah Bowerstock first to get there. And you saw right there just a great defensive effort there from the Tigers.
Yeah, I would not want to be a running back and have to look up while I'm in open field. Watch the replay right here. He turns around, and there's just a sea of blue jerseys right there. Most of the time, you're not going to get out of that. You're not Houdini, and now you've just gotten a loss. Brings up 3rd and very long for the Jaguars.
So now, like you mentioned, Jag faced with a 3rd and 18 here. 3rd and very long. Going to have to throw a Hail Mary if they want to get a first down. Madarian Smith going to take it himself. He's going to go out to the outside to the 20, and he's brought down out of bounds. Almost a late hit there. The Tigers almost avoided it.
Smith on the quarterback carry.
I like the play call right there, honestly, from Coach Tolliver. He knows maybe the quarterback doesn't have the arm strength to be able to throw it 18 or more yards. There is a flag on the play, so maybe they got it anyway, but getting the ball in your playmaker's hands, able to get into open space, where he's actually been really effective tonight, just shy of the first down. That's just because of the loss on the last play, but there is a flag. Maybe you got a first down here and you're able to build on it.
Yeah, refs meeting in the middle here, trying to discuss. You know, last game against Enterprise had like felt like the longest delay for officiating ever. But yeah, right now the official's trying to spot the ball, but it looks like it will be on the Jaguars here. Possibly a block in the back or a holding.
We'll get another opportunity at 3rd down here. Maybe you draw something else up. Maybe you see, okay, that worked or that didn't work. Let's go back to the drawing board and let's make a play. Looks like there could be taking a timeout or an unsportsmanlike.
It was a face mask penalty there you saw from the Jaguars. I guess a little bit of hands to the face as well. So both penalties are declined. So we are going to see the Jaguars punting unit come out here as they will punt it away again. And, you know, if you had a player of the game for the Jaguars, it might be the punter right now because they've just had to punt it a lot so far tonight.
Well, you got to give them credit. I think they'd rather punt than have to turn the ball over.
This one's going to be booted away here. It's going to be returnable, but Cashreef just going to let this one bounce. And it is actually a pretty good kick there. And it's going to, looks like it's going to be down at about maybe the 27-yard line.
Yeah, great punt there by Smith. Able to get it inside the opposing 30-yard line. I mean, he kicked that thing, and it took a massive Jaguar bounce. Almost 20 yards, landed about midfield, and was able to go inside the 30. So really good job, and maybe if with a quick change, they could be deep into Tiger territory and able to try and get a score and get on the board for the first time since 2021.
And you see Kason Myers trotting back out there again. Coach Etheridge wants to put him back out there. Obviously, Cross the Land did lead the Tigers down the field to score last drive, but Myers going to trot back out there again. We're going to see Myers draw back to throw here. He's going to throw this one deep. It is up and it's caught by B.J. Collins. B.J. Collins has no one behind him, and he's just going to sail into the end zone there. Touchdown Tigers, 41-0.
B.J. Collins able to get behind the defense right there. Runs a bit of a post route. Is able to just beat the man off the line. He's got 2 guys. eating his dust and is able to score a huge touchdown, just continuing to rack up those yards, make it look good come the end of the season when you got to look at the total yards, who are the league leaders in passing and receiving. After this week, we could see a guy like Casey Myers up there.
Yeah, I'm glad to see B.J. Collins get some action there. You know, he caught a pass earlier, but that one just a long ball there, and kick is up, and it's actually, yeah, it's up and through. Almost missed there, but looked like maybe blocked potentially, but still got in.
Yeah, you look right here, shotgun formation, able to great pocket presence. It's able just to put it. Our camera can't even catch up with B.J. Collins. He's so fast. That's been a lot of the Auburn receivers tonight, and that's no disrespect to our camera crew. There, he's able to get a massive touchdown and continue to run the score up for the Auburn High Tigers.
Yeah, you know, Auburn so far looks like they might get to 100 if they keep it up, if they're able to.
Statistically, you're on pace for it. I doubt we're probably going to see some of the backups continuing to trickle into the game soon. Take some of the clock off. Here's another replay from a wider angle right here. Myers made 5-man rushing and is able to take the ball deep, just able to put it out there and gets behind the safety for a touchdown.
Yeah, Collins was gone immediately. I mean, you saw there was tons of separation there. And Collins just was able to get into the end zone easily. He could have, you know, just walked into the end zone. He would have got it. Daniel's going to kick this one away here. See if it's going to be a touchback, and it's actually going to be returnable. Going to be muffed here by the Jaguars, and they're going to be able to get it out of the 10-yard line. He's going to continue to go to the 30. He's got one man to beat, is Joe Daniel, and he's going to go to the 50-yard line, and now he's brought down by a sea of Tigers defenders. Almost a kick return for the Jaguars. You know, as you mentioned, that could have been the first score since 2021 for the Jaguars.
What an emotional roller coaster of a play. You muff the kickoff at the 1-yard line. It rolls into the end zone. You're thinking, maybe I can scamper out for 5 or 10 yards before that sea of Auburn defenders hits me. But instead, it's able to get to the outside, get a huge first down. Shout out number 7, Marlo Harris, for the Jaguars. Able to get that and get a huge first down inside of Auburn High territory. I think that's going to be something that they can build off of. Special teams wise, hey, they've played that and they've done that well, especially after the punt and that right there. Maybe we could see something, but they might get called back for a penalty.
Yeah, it looks like it might be a penalty here, maybe a block in the back or a holding. So Jags momentum was just taken away here as the ball, that might be it. It could be he possibly had a block in the back right there about the 5-yard line. So yeah, Jag gonna get the ball right at the 6 here. So had some momentum, but now faced with a tough situation.
That's a 55-yard difference on that one block in the back. It's the little things in a winning program that matter. Jag will eventually learn those things, I have no doubt, with Coach Tolliver, able to build this program, but that's one of those things they've got to clean up because that's, again, 55 yards. That's half a football field that they just lost due to one slight mistake.
And Darian Smith still in at quarterback. He's going to run this one to the outside. He is almost brought down by Greg Williams, but makes a move to the outside again, and just a sea of Tigers defenders just able to get all over him there.
Yeah, your operations have to be smooth right here for the Jaguars. You can't let a snap go over your head or run it too far in the backfield. It's able to break the tackle by Williams and then is cut down by Auburn's defense. That's big number 7, Logan Ciriso, able to get the stop. And looks like there is a player down on the field. So we will be back once he looks like he's off the field and better.
Yeah, now it looks like we're finally ready to play some football here as the injured player is off the field. Hopefully he is okay. And it's going to be a 2nd and long here for the Jaguars, deep in their own territory. And King Anderson in the game now. It's going to be a throw, but it is incomplete.
Yeah, just a high pass intended for Christian Jackson there. Interesting to see a new quarterback in for the Jaguars, LaKing. He's good with the ball in his hands. He's able to make men miss when he is able to get into open space. But right now they haven't been able to find a lot of open space. Maybe that's why they're bringing him in.
And as you mentioned, LaKing Anderson, left-handed quarterback. Hasn't really thrown the ball a lot, but we'll see what he can do here on this 3rd and long. He's just going to run this one to the outside. He's going to be brought down by Brennan Barber. Huge tackle by Barber there.
Yeah, it looks like Colin King also on the stop right there. Auburn's front 7 just continuing to attack and hammer away.
And now going to be a 4th and really long here, so we're going to have to see the Jag punt unit back out once again.
And you can't make a mistake right here. Everything has to go clean. You have to be able to block the people gunning for the punter. You have to be able to snap it clean. You have to be able to get the kick off, because if not, the Tigers quite easily get a touchdown or a safety right here. So everything has to be clean. I'm sure that's what Coach Oliver has been able to tell this team. Up man coming in here to be able to try and get the block.
Looks like a little bit of confusion possibly. Maybe a delay a game. Yeah, it looks like that's what it's going to be. So
move back about 2-3 yards and try to do it again. Just you're hurting yourself with these kind of plays. Just trying to work on how your operations are. And now he's going to be backed up deep. He's going to have to get this off quick.
Yeah, and actually the Auburn special teams unit had a block kick early on in the season by Cam Creighton, but that one is going to be able to sail out of the end zone, and Cash Reef going to signal fair catch here, and he's just going to catch that one at about the 29, 30-ish yard line there. So Auburn's offense going to trot back out here once again. Auburn 42-0 currently halfway through this 2nd quarter.
Yeah, and that was a good job by the Jag special teams right there. Able to get the punt off. Didn't look like there was ever a threat of it being blocked. So definitely something to build on and improve on.
And now you see Crossland coming back out there at quarterback, and Kason Myers did come out last drive through that deep ball to BJ Collins, and like to see Crossland throw a deep ball potentially. Jalen Huff back there at running back, Hampton Jordan in motion. And Land gonna look for a man. He's gonna throw this one, and it's gonna be caught down at the 1 yard line, actually 2 yard line there for the Tigers.
Beautiful play by Crossland. Looks like that might have been askew. Hope we'll get it on the replay here in a second, but they are going to be able to get the ball with only about 6 feet away from the end zone. That's about as close as you can get right there.
Yeah, Joshua Askew did come down with that catch. Kind of toe tapped it there and was able to get out of bounds.
They have him wide left right here. I would not be surprised if they see him go right back to him.
Crossland going to throw this one to the corner of the end zone, and it's going to be incomplete. It looks like it's going to be pass interference here. You saw Cash Reef a little bit frustrated there, and I would be too. Just basically got tackled in the corner of the end zone. But yeah, as you see, it's going to be a penalty, so that's going to move the Tigers to the 1 yard line.
Can't do that. Their replay right here. They throws it up for the fade route, back right corner of the end zone, but just gets bull rushed by the defensive back, number 5, Angelo Andrews. Trying to play good defense, but you've got to get that head around. Could have been an interception opportunity if he did. He was in position, but instead played the man, not the ball. They're going to throw a flag on that every time.
You see Jaden King in at running back again. Jalen Huff was in last play, but a man in motion here is Reef. Going to fake the handoff, going to roll out. He's going to throw it to a man, and it's going to be dropped. Almost a touchdown there for the Tigers. Crossland would have had his first touchdown pass of the season.
Yeah, it would have been. It was a good throw on target. They were hoping to be able to get it right here. You see the replay. Going outside, you see that a lot on the goal line where you get the quarterback in motion, trying to throw it to a guy running with him. We almost did that in the end zone the other day, me and Reese, during Tiger TV. But, you know, trying to get the ball out there, hopefully get Antonio Wells some great pictures by our HiDef team, taking photos right beneath the end zone right there. But unfortunately, just couldn't hit it.
Crossland going to throw this one here, and that is going to be caught for another Tiger touchdown. Antonio Welch gets his get back there as he's able to score, and the Tigers are now up 48-0. Antonio Welch dropped that last touchdown pass, but able to catch this one here.
Hey, you know what? Went right back to him. That's a great job by Crossland, trusting his guys, trusting the offense, and able to get the score and continue to run up the score for the Tigers, and that's not going to bode well for Jag, especially in their second quarter score margin. If for those interested, it is a very decent margin. I think it's about 90, or at least in the 60s to 0. It's actually a 64 to 0, and they've scored a lot more in this play. Look at here, cross land, shotgun, 2 men either side of him, and he is going to look, and just on that little out route, having the outside receiver ask you cut in, you're going to get a defensive back, especially in man, to jump on that every time, and it's a wide open throw, and it's an easy throw and an easy touchdown for the Land to Welsh connection.
Yeah, and Land looked very poised right there too, because we saw him come in that Booker game, fumbled the ball early on in that game, but Land looked very poised on that drive, and was able to get the Tigers to score.
Definitely the junior quarterback is 100% developing, and that's what you like to see from Land, just like what you see from this offense. It gives you a good future for when potentially you need him.
So Daniel called on once again to kick this one away. He's been out there, seems like a lot tonight. Now Daniel gonna just boot this one away. Let's see if it's a touchback here. And that one is just gonna sail to the back of the end zone. So Jag not able to return that one, but gonna start here at the 20-yard line. Still 6:46 to go here in the second quarter. And Auburn's defense gonna trot back out there once again.
Yeah, for Auburn to continue to play well and continue to win this season, it's going to come from that front seven. They have been so dominant and been able to limit run. They've been able to get after the quarterback and give their defensive backs time to be able to close gaps with receivers and make big plays. You've seen it all night tonight. Guys like Greg Williams, guys like Aiden Parker, guys like Colin King making plays.
And you see Madarian Smith back at quarterback again. It's going to be a backwards pass here. He's going to be brought down by a sea of Tigers defenders.
Yeah, Christian Jackson again, they've worked that play a lot, the motion out route kind of concept, and it's worked in the past for them. It didn't work right there, but that's not a reason not to go back to it. Looks like there is an injury though, so we will be back after the everything is clear down here.
Second down and 11.
Greg Williams, another WWE Super Slam. Again, that's the third time tonight we've seen that happen from Greg Williams. Just outstanding.
Yeah, we might need to call Triple H, head of creative for WWE, and tell them that we've got a guy that could fit on the roster right there. Him and Carnell Jackson teaming up, looking like the Dudley brothers on that one, putting the 1D on Madarian Smith and forcing a third down.
And going to be third and really long here for the Jaguars. Waiting on Coach Tolliver's decision here to see what play they're going to draw up. And this Jag team, down 49-0 here in the second quarter, trying to get a little bit of momentum, trying to get on the board, like you said, for the first time since 2021. Smith going to throw this one to the outside for a screen pass. He's going to be brought down. Just a bunch of Tigers defenders right there.
Yeah, trying to get the ball to LaKing Anderson. He's been the guy to go to when they want the ball in someone's hands. Just a high pass right there. Couldn't get his feet set under him before the Auburn Tigers were able to swarm him, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, and you saw Alex Gamston was able to come up with the tackle there.
Fourth down.
And I know we saw some of those games earlier on the live look-in during the injury timeout. How about that Central Enterprise score? Enterprise coming off a 23-7 loss against Auburn last week. keeping it close with Central, who people consider is the top dog in 7A right now.
Yeah, and Central playing IMG Academy next week, and here's the punt here from Jag, and that's going to be a high punt. See if Cash Reef's able to return this one. He is going to be able to return this one. And he's going to run to the outside, run up to the 40, to the 30. He's going to break a tackle, make a man miss to the 20, go outside about the 15, almost to the 10-yard line there.
Yeah, but I would not be surprised if this is backed up. A little bit of laundry on the field right here. Maybe a block in the back or a hold. You know, you get that a lot, especially with these plays on special teams where the returner is breaking tackles and it goes a little bit longer than you think it might be going. You might hold on to a guy, it's just a half a second too long, and that'll get a penalty for you every time. And looks like Auburn is going to take over with good territory, depending on what the foul is here.
Yeah, it looks like there was a little bit of an injury there.
Looks like he looks like he's all right though. Able to walk out under his own power. You always like to see that.
Yeah, so far Jag a little bit banged up tonight. You know, obviously banged up because this Tigers defense has just been all over the place tonight. Banged up on offense and defense because the Tigers offense has also just been stellar as well.
Yeah, if you give me the choice between being locked in a room with a grizzly bear and this Auburn defense, I might take the bear, Reese.
And now Auburn's offense going to go back out there now. And it looks like the penalty was on the Jaguars, so going to move the ball up a little bit for the Tigers. So great starting field position for Auburn. Now the Auburn offense going to trot back out here on the field again. Kason Myers back out there once again at quarterback. Looks like Coach Etheridge, you know, playing both quarterbacks at the same time.
Hey, I like it. Give them both some run, especially Kason in the red zone right here. Definitely could be something he could improve on, and hopefully they see that, but even though there's a fumble.
And Myers going to be able to drop right on top of that ball. Good thing he was able to get on top of that. Last week against Enterprise did have some trouble with some snaps, but was able to recover them. But Auburn, you know, had great starting field position. Now going to be brought back all the way, it looks like about the 20-yard line here.
Yeah, you know, the edge rusher Posey for the Jags almost able to jump on that. He got the quick start off the line, and good veteran presence by Myers, knowing, hey, you know, I can't turn into Lamar Jackson trying to get this fumble. Let's just go down, eat the yardage. We'll throw it deep and score a touchdown.
Okay, 2nd and 22 here, man in motion. And Myers just going to run it up the middle, make a man miss. He's going to break a few tackles, get it to the 10-yard line, and he's going to go down to about the 5-yard line. Great carry there from quarterback Kason Myers. We saw him use his legs last week, and he's using them again here against Jag.
Yeah, 200 total yards. The dual threat quarterback running right through the heart of the Jaguars defense, able to get downfield and make a play. You saw even a helmet might have come off right there, running with authority.
Now 3rd and goal here from the 4-yard line. It looks like it's going to be a quick timeout here as the Tigers going to trot over to the sideline.
Yeah, man, they have a lot to talk about, and I know this man right here, Reese Kinder, also has a lot to talk about, especially when it comes to halftime sports.
Want to hear the best sports talk show in the Southeast? Well, you can on Halftime Sports Talk Show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. on YouTube and Spotify. For a year now, Halftime Sports has talked about the best local and national sports talk. Check out the show wherever you stream your podcasts, and don't miss a second of the best live sports talk show in the Southeast.
Hey, and that tagline, the best sports talk show in the Southeast, he's not kidding, folks. I've seen him work on his graphics. He's really trying to update this and bring this. Is now what, year 2 now?
Year 1 still, but yeah, going on year 2 now.
See, I could have thought you were a veteran the way you're able to break it down and how the production looks. Make sure you guys go check that out from Tiger TV and Mass Media's own. My man to my right, Reese Kinder.
Now Auburn faced with a 3rd and goal here from the 4-yard line. So Auburn obviously able to capitalize a lot tonight. 49-0 here in the 2nd quarter with about 3:13 to go. And Auburn looking to make it 56-0 here. Jordan in motion. Going to throw this one, and it's going to be almost caught. Cash Reef almost came up with it there. Just bobbled it at the end, and obviously Cash Reef frustrated a little bit. But really interested to see what the Tigers will do here. Will Coach Etheridge go for it, or will he just bring the special teams unit out?
Yeah, you know, I played football in 5th grade. I was a wide receiver. My coach, Coach Mata, told me one thing, you know, which was true right there. It hit him in the worst spot, his hands.
And it looks like Auburn here going to go for the 4th and goal. from the 4-yard line, even though they're up 49-0. Myers going to drop back here, feels the pressure, going to throw this one to King, and it is caught in the end zone. Touchdown Tigers, and the Tigers going to extend their lead. That's 3 touchdowns tonight for Jaden King.
Yeah, you saw him with the celebration. Uno, dos, tres. The hat trick now for Jaden King. Able to continue to extend this lead. You know, even though it's a 4th down, I love that from Auburn. Watch this on the wheel route, wide open. The defender, number 17, Justin Rogers, couldn't get to the pylon first and able to slip in for an easy touchdown to put up the 50-burger with an extra point to go.
And that one is going to be up and through. Joseph Daniel perfect tonight on extra points. So it's now 56-0. The Auburn Tigers lead the Jaguars here late in the 2nd quarter. Not even halftime yet. I know that's surprising, 56-0. But Tripp, what have you seen from the Tigers so far tonight that's really impressed you?
I mean, obviously, the aggression of the front 7. They've been after the quarterback tonight, and they've been able to make a play. Meanwhile, offensively, Coach Etheridge is not afraid to hide tape and not show out what he's going to do with the second half of the season coming up. He wants to get practice, and that's what you've seen. They've taken deep shots. They've taken those screen plays. They've run a lot of gadget stuff. They're not just running it, hoping to get out of this game without giving their opponents an opportunity to scout. They're not afraid to show, we are the Auburn Tigers, and we're this dang good.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, showing the upcoming schedule, the next few weeks, Auburn has Moody at home next week, Central at home the week after that. And then Auburn will travel to Smith Station to face the Panthers, and then they will come back home for senior night against Carver Montgomery, and then, you know, end off the season with Dothan in Dothan.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the Moody game next week. Moody, one of the top teams in 5A. I think in the most recent poll, they were ranked number 2. Right behind, I believe, Vigor. But this team is Moody team that's coming into town. We were supposed to play them last week. Obviously, extenuating circumstances with some of the weather. They're able to come here, and we are excited to host Moody. We have them on our live look-ins. We're checking up on that game. Looks like they were tied last time we looked. But Moody, that's not a team to take lightly, even if they're not 7A.
Yeah.
Then Central,
you know, one of the biggest matchups of the year. Now Jag has trouble with the snap here. Smith going to be able to run this one up the middle, and he's going to be brought down at about the 30-yard line, get a few yards there. But yeah, as you were mentioning, Central, you know, not a team to take lightly. Actually plays IMG Academy next week, and you see a player down here. Unfortunate, Madarian Smith is injured.
Yeah, you know, hate to see that. Hope he's all right, obviously. You know, for these kids, this is a game on Friday night, you know, but hopefully health-wise that he's all right, and I'm sure he will be.
But yeah, like you were mentioning, the Central game, obviously, like I was saying, IMG, they play next week. One of the biggest games, I think, of the year. That game possibly might be on ESPN next Friday night. And, you know, traveling to Auburn the next week prior. And for Auburn, you kind of hope some of the Central guys get a little, like, banged up and aren't really healthy that game, so Auburn performs well.
I mean, obviously you never wish injuries on somebody, but I trust Keith Etheridge, his championship pedigree, you know, to play Central. He knows he's going to have to play.
Going to be a handoff here for the Jaguars, and he's going to be brought down by Greg Williams. Just a huge tackle, and you see helmets flying there. But Greg Williams just hitting really hard. I mean, we've seen some incredible hits from Williams this season.
100%. The carry right there, that's from number 28, Savion Gilchrist. He plays linebacker. He came in at running back right there. Able to get a couple yards. Makes it 2nd and short here for the Jaguars. There is some laundry on the field, though, so they could either be moving back or moving forward. We'll have to see what the official decision is.
Yeah, and LaKing Anderson in at quarterback now since Madarian Smith is out of the game currently with an injury. But yeah, you were talking about Keith Etheridge. You know, Keith has been outstanding coach so far for the Tigers. 44-10 is his record with the Auburn Tigers,
and especially in region play, 27-4. And for those keeping score, that's 3 Central losses and a loss to Enterprise on Marcus Ware Day, as we like to talk about in class. But definitely a guy that knows how to win in this region. And, you know, I'm sure that record against Central is going to change, and they're going to be able to play well and compete with the Central Devils.
Now King Anderson going to throw this one to the outside, and that's going to be overthrown by a lot there.
Yeah, they pick up the first down on the penalty, but can't take advantage. They had a guy open on the outside. Maybe he could have made a man miss and get to the house, but unfortunately, just a little too high. And it's great to see number 8, Madarian Smith, coming back into this game right here. There's no quit in this Jaguar team, and that's something that I'm sure Tolliver, the head coach, has been able to impound in them and able to bring out of them. So this is great for them.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously this Auburn defense has just been outstanding so far tonight, and they've just kept continuing that. And that's just going to do it again right there. And Auburn's defense just comes up with a huge tackle.
Yeah, I mean, hey, they were able to get after right there and get a big stop in the backfield. Brings up 3rd and long. The big replay, just able to get off the gap. And even though Madarian Smith back into the game, trying to run the QB sweep, just couldn't get to the outside and brought down by those aggressive Tiger defensive linemen.
Yeah, and you got to give Smith credit too. I mean, he's coming back out there nursing an injury and
pure brutal.
Yeah, he's just able to do what he can to get this Jag team on the board. And Smith gonna run to the outside here and be chased down by a Tiger defender, and that's just gonna be short of his man. And Alex Gamston breaks that pass up and
almost gets the interception too.
Yeah, looks like another injury on the Jag sideline there.
Smith's pass intended to number 9, J.A.G.
Auburn, you know, obviously up big here. Not even halftime yet, so I wonder if the mercy rule comes in play in the second half, if you might want to let the Jaguars go home early.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'd love to call a 4-quarter ball game, maybe see Jag come back into this game and make it interesting. Love to see it, but that is what it's looking like, unfortunately.
Yeah, 1:19 to go here in the second quarter. And you see the punt unit's going to be back out there again for the Jaguars.
Good snap.
A great punt there from Smith, and that one's just going to bounce again. Good bounce, actually takes a great Jag bounce to the 25-yard line.
Oh, and looks like
looks like it possibly was touched by a Jag player. So Cashreef never called fair catch, and he's going to be able to return this one. He's going to cut to the 40, and he's going to cut back again, and he's going to get almost to midfield, still going, and not brought down yet, and he's finally brought down in Jag territory. But you saw a Jag player did touch that ball, and Cashreef, great eyes there, and able to return it past midfield.
Yeah, I mean, he had the ability to go, hey, no matter what happens, I'm going to be able to advance this ball. I'm not going to have to worry about it, especially with his heads-up play. I'm sure that's what they get coached with Coach Etheridge and the special teams. Able to return the ball, was able to carry a couple Jaguars and Tigers, a whole cat show, up to about the 50-yard line. So it was going to be a big play. Maybe we'll see if the Tigers try and score before halftime here. I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
I don't think Auburn will be using timeouts to try and score here, but maybe they need to practice.
And now Crossland back in quarterback again, and Hampton Jordan in motion. Land gonna throw this one. Gonna find a man open, and is dropped.
Yeah, just again, AJ Turnbow, the sophomore, getting some run here. The young fella just drops it right there. I'm sure with great coaching by this offensive staff, they're going to get that right and be able to clean it up, especially bringing up second down.
Yeah, second and long here for the Tigers. But, yeah, Turnbow not able to come up with that one, but hopefully he gets another shot later in this second quarter, maybe even next half.
Yeah, he's lined up top of the formation. Maybe you see something with him here, go right back to him, help build that confidence.
Land going to drop back here. Has some pressure. Going to throw this one deep. And it is going to be incomplete.
Intended receiver Levi Kelly trying to get him on that post route, land some of that experience, throwing the ball deep. A great play by the Jag defender, able to knock him off his course, force an incompletion, and just staying with him.
And now going to be a third and long here for the Tigers with 37 seconds to go here in the half. You see Jalen Huff in the backfield.
Could see some pressure right here from Jag, especially on a late down situation, make the backup quarterback uncomfortable.
Huff going to get the pitch here. Huff going to cut upfield to the 40. He's going to make a man miss, and he's going to get down out of bounds right near the 30-yard line.
Yeah, looks like he might have picked that up as well. Clock is running, though, so they're going to have to get on the ball and spike it quick. But great job, great for Coach Etheridge running the ball the third down. Not a lot of teams expect that. You saw that with they were sending pressure. They had guys deep and off the line. He was able to get through and get a big first down. Good job, Jalen.
Yeah, it looks like the Tigers just going to take this one to the half here. So the Auburn Tigers lead the Jaguars 56-0 here at the end of the second quarter. But folks, don't go away, because when we come back, we'll have second half action.
And make sure to watch, especially for
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and all of Jag Nation, it's halftime from the jungle, and you know what that means. It's time to turn up with the baddest band in the land. On behalf of Superintendent Dr. Zacchaeus Bird, Principal Dr. Carlos Hammonds, and the man with the vision and the master of sounds, Director of Bands, Mr. Brandon Howard. Jag Nation in Auburn, Alabama, get on your feet and make some noise. Marching Purple Rain. slow it down and smooth it out. In concert formation, we're bringing you a taste of a hit that took over the chart and had the whole world singing along. That's right, Grammy nominated and Billboard favorite. This is Teddy Swims, Lose Control. Wave your hands side to side and sing with us. Brace yourself for the sizzle, the fire, the fierce energy of the Dynamic Divas dance team. They're about to turn up to La La La.
and Dr. Kristen Herring, Superintendent of Auburn City Schools, Dr. Gregory Moore, Principal of Auburn High School, and Director of Bands Miss Deanna Marshall, we present the Auburn High School Marching Band and our 2025 production, Up in the Air. The band is under the field direction of drum majors Emma Stackhouse, Avery Moore, Isaiah Nash, and Trey Doyle. Drum majors, is the band ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the Auburn High School Marching Band. and the Vaders, Michelle Bloom and Megan Greer. Percussion tech staff are Corbin Williams, Eric Moore, and Josh Bird. The Auburn High School Marching Band wants to continue to encourage you to visit our concession stands this evening, run by the Auburn Band Boosters Association. All proceeds from the concession stands directly support the band programs at East Sanford School, Auburn Junior High, and Auburn High School.
Hello everyone and welcome back to some second half action between the Auburn High Tigers and the Jaguars. Auburn currently up 56-0. Me, Reese Kinder alongside Trip Upton. Trip, how are we doing to start this third quarter?
Yeah, I mean, the score has been pretty one-sided, the game even more so. Jag just unable to take advantage of opportunity scoring, turning the ball over. They had 3 turnovers in the first quarter, a pick 6, a fumble recovery, and then an interception by Greg Williams. And the Tigers went up quick. We're up, I want to say about 28-0 at the end of the first quarter. They've continued to pour that on, did the same exact thing in the second quarter. I'd love to see what's going to happen with the rest of this game. Looks like we're going to go running clock in the second half, and we're going to see a lot of fresh faces and get to know a lot of young players on this Auburn team.
Yeah, you saw right there, Jaden Huff pitched that one back to Levi Kelly, but Levi Kelly got nowhere, just upended at the end, and we're going to get to see Cross Land come back out here now for the Tigers.
Yeah, Cross has played great. He's really gotten a majority of the snaps in the second quarter. You did see Kaysen-Meyer a little bit just in situational football in the red zone, wanting to take a deep shot, but he's been really great. He has, I want to say, a touchdown or 2 on the day, and he's been pretty good.
And this one's going to be a carry here. Still going. The Tigers' offensive line still being able to push there.
Yeah, you even see a Land getting a little bit of a block. Obviously, you don't want your quarterback pushing with his hands, so he's kind of leaning up against him like he's a bear trying to scratch his back on a big oak tree. But able to push the pile, the front men for Auburn, and they've been great today. The running game has been great. You've seen 3 total touchdowns for Jaden King at running back for Auburn. And, you know, that's going to continue here in the second half if I had to make a quick prediction for how the O-line's going to do.
And now the Tigers here on 2nd and 5, going to be another handoff, and you see just brought down there.
Yeah, and a really good tackle by the Jaguars. Number 66, Ja'Cory O'Neal, the sophomore defensive tackle, getting in here and getting some playing time. And that's what you're going to want to see from Jag right here. You know, let's see some different guys getting some playing time because, you know, iron sharpens iron, competition breeds competition, and that's what Jag wants when they play teams like Auburn, when they play teams like Central, Carver Montgomery, some of the top teams in this region, and that's hoping what they're going to draw to their young guys. A little bit of miscommunication on this one. Looks like it's going to be an offsides penalty, and that's going to be 5 yards and a first down for Auburn.
Yeah, you see Caleb Thomas coming in the game now. He was in the game last play, got that carry for a few yards, but yeah, Caleb Thomas in the backfield, the junior running back for the Tigers. See Caleb Thomas still in the backfield. Going to be a handoff to Thomas. Thomas going to run up the middle for a few yards here. Still getting a push from the offensive lineman.
Yeah, and again, that's O'Neal, the defensive tackle, being instrumental on that stop, plug in the middle. That's what, again, you're going to see that. It's small victories for Jag. I know, hey, the scoreboard is the scoreboard, but you can still win small victories and get improvement, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day, especially for Coach Tolliver as he tries to rebuild this once proud program.
You see Corey Jackson in motion now. Going to be a handoff again to Thomas, and going to get a few yards there. And it looks like Jags saying they have the ball, and they do have the ball. It's a fumble recovery for the Jaguars, so Auburn's offense turns the ball over for the first time tonight, and Jag gets some momentum there. So we're going to see the Auburn defense come back out here. You know, had a lot in the first half. Auburn's defense was out there a lot, so going to see them come back out here again.
Yeah, I mean, look at the replay right here. Just runs in the teeth of the defense, and in those kind of scrambles, if the ball comes out, it's hard to see who has it. Jag able to get it out and get the first down, and that's big for the Jaguars, able to turn the ball over and get the ball in Tiger territory as they go right here with the play.
It's going to be a catch there for the Jaguars. He's going to slip a little bit, be brought down by a sea of Tigers defenders. Brennan Barber, the first one to get on top there.
Yeah, and that was another, quick passing play. Looks like they went again to the guy that's kind of been the leading receiver, number 3, Christian Jackson for the Jaguars. Able to get outside, stumbles, but able to regain his balance and get another yard or 2. And that's just how you get in rhythm. It's the short stuff to get Madarian Smith, who's been quarterbacking today, in rhythm and potentially break the 4-year scoring drought against the Auburn Tigers.
And Smith going to run this one to the outside here. He's going to be brought down by Tigers defenders there. Huge tackle.
Yeah.
for Auburn.
Yeah, I mean, the defense for Auburn, they have it. They don't realize the score right there. I see Michael Oliver being one of the guys to stop coming in, filling in the sophomore, getting some playing time here, was able to jump all over and get the stop. It brings up about a 3rd and 7 here, so I would not be surprised if we see Madarian Smith drop back and try and get a throw out here, especially with 3 receivers at the top, or 2 receivers. I thought 16 was going to stay with him. Maybe you see that, or he's going to use his legs here.
Yeah, and we saw Jags score 20 points against Opelika last week, so be interested to see if they can score here in the second half. It's going to be a throw to the outside, going to break a tackle, and I don't know, he's going to be marked short of the first down here, so.
Right back to Jackson. He's been their star receiver tonight. He's been able to, especially on these short plays, those RPO styles where he's turning, he's looking. Look on the replay right here, he's able to get it, runs right through, it's able to get to the 40. I believe that's a yard short of the first down, so they're going for it on 4th down.
Brought down by Ryan Donaldson there on that play. Going to be a run up the middle here. And he's brought down by that Tigers defensive line, but able to pick up a few. Darian Smith.
Yeah, defending on 4th and short is so tricky. The offense can do really whatever it wants. They can throw the ball, they can run the ball, they can go put something with their quarterback on the ground. It's definitely a offensive sided, even though it is on 4th down. They were able to take advantage of that. The quick quarterback draw right up the left guard and able to get a first down, moving the chains and continuing to inch into Tiger territory here to start the second half.
Yeah, now going to be a 1st and 10 here, like you said, inching into Tiger territory. And Madarian Smith trying to get the Jaguars on the board.
Pressure coming.
Smith going to throw this one straight up in the air. And I don't know if that's going to be a fumble or not, but Auburn's defense kind of realizes that it's almost recovered, but that did look like it was a fumble. It looked like he kind of just threw it straight behind him or something, but really weird sequence of events there.
It honestly looks like when, you win a championship and you're just like, I want to get the ball out, just flips it straight up. Almost number 15, Will Lee, the senior, going to be the guy to go pick it up and potentially try and get himself a touchdown. Looks like there's going to be a flag. It's going to be intentional grounding for just lobbing the ball up in the air. So they'll get the loss of down. It's going to be a penalty to the spot of the foul, plus a couple yards. And, that's just, again, the things that you can't do. You can't give up on the play. You got to play every down, even with the score like this, because you're close to scoring here. Like, you can 100% get a play and get in the end zone.
And now going to be a throw here for Smith, and he's going to be brought down. Actually, still going. Now he's going to be brought down by a sea of Tigers defenders here. And this defense for the Tigers, even on second string, looks pretty good.
Yeah, again, Christian Jackson right there, just trying to break through the defenders. A great job by the Auburn defensive backs, able to corral him and don't let him get out of the second level, and brings up another long distance play, maybe 3rd and long here. Looks to be 2nd down, they're saying. So it's going to be 2nd and 21.
Yeah, look out for Dexter Murphy here on the side. But Auburn bringing the pressure. That is going to be caught, it looks like, but going to be incomplete. Just fully complete there.
Intended receiver number 1, Christian Williams, the sophomore. He plays 2 ways. He's part of that philosophy for Coach Oliver. He plays linebacker as well. So we've seen him all over the field tonight. Definitely going to be a big contributor in years to come for the Jaguars. We'll definitely see him next year. But now it's 4th down. They bring Smith on to punt here, and the Auburn offense going to get another shot with the ball here, probably pinned deep, depending on if this punt is a touchback or not.
Yeah, if I'm Auburn, might just want to run the clock out in this game. That punt's going to bounce, and looks like going to be returnable here. It's going to go to the outside. Going to be able to return it here to the 30, to the 40. And he's going to be brought down at the 50-yard line there. Great return for the Tigers. That was Levi Kelly with the return, and we saw him on the kickoff almost get somewhere earlier. But
Kelly takes the 10, runs backwards about a yard or 2, but able to get to the outside. That's all you want to see on those punt returns, able to get to the outside and force it. Great block right there, especially from his fellow Auburn Tiger, number 91, Dexter Murphy, the sophomore. And now the Auburn offense coming back on the field. Looks like we could be seeing the 3rd-string quarterback here, number 18, J.D. Pape, the 5'9" sophomore, getting some action here, and I'm sure he's excited to be at the Ducks this weekend, getting some playing time.
Yeah, you see Corey Jackson or maybe one of the offensive linemen moved.
Yeah, can't have that. I mean, obviously, I know it's just those jitters when you're coming into a game for the first time. The lights are bright, but you've got to be able to take just a second, take a deep breath, and live in the moment and make a play, because eventually you might get called on when the score's not 56-0 and you need to win the ball game.
And that was number 70, Jackson Whitcomb. See Pate gonna throw this one to Jackson. Jackson's gonna hit a few people there. Huge hits. Look like a bulldozer out there.
Yeah, running right through. Great job by Pate right there in motion on the play action. Is able to throw down to the check down in the flat, and that was able to get it and make it a first down, maybe second and manageable if not.
Give me a first down here for the Tigers. Just beyond midfield here. Pate trying to set up his offense well. Only 3 receivers out wide. It's gonna be a handoff here. Gonna go out to the outside. Gonna be brought down. Just see of Jag defenders right there.
Yeah, first guy there, number 0, Timothy Miles, and number 17, Justin Rogers, met him there. Was able to corral Auburn's running game and get a short play.
Yeah, Ashton Tompkins with the carry there.
As the clock continues to run, obviously with the rules for in the state of Alabama, we are on a running clock. So just over a minute and a half left in this quarter as we get closer and closer to the 4th, and the Auburn Tigers don't want to jinx it, but look like they're going to be able to get out of here with a win.
See Tompkins still in the backfield there. Pate's going to take it himself, but he's going to be brought down. And it's going to be a 4th down now.
Yeah, Miles again. They try to run that little pinfall, fake toss. You see a lot with teams like Georgia Tech, with the ever, popular Haynes King. Just get the guy faking the toss, hoping that linebacker bites when he tries to run outside, and cutting up, finding a hole, and getting a first down. It did work right there, but they were able to, hey, that's reps. That's something that Pate can build on and say, I can work and I can improve that for when the next time I have to go in, maybe this season, maybe in the future. He knows what he's supposed to do. And this is the first punt, I believe, for Auburn tonight. Jag taking a timeout, wanting to talk about it, but the Tigers, we're going to see the punting unit. I believe it's Daniel punting. Good for him to get the reps on that. But let's take a live look and see what's going on across the state of Alabama. We look at Moody Helena. Moody obviously is our game next week. You'll be right here on our YouTube. You're going to be here with Reese and the return of James Tippins, and that's going to be a great one to watch here. So make sure you stay tuned out for Moot. But Moody's up 10. Again, one of the top teams in 5A, so this is not a team to be taking lightly, is it, Reese?
Moody's just been great so far this season. Only loss coming to Gainesville, so I'm really looking forward to seeing that matchup next week. And it is homecoming, so
absolutely
be good for these players to possibly get in if Auburn gets up big. But Auburn going to punt this one here.
High punt.
Very high punt there. And it looks like that one's just going to drop down. Brought down about the 10-yard line here.
Yeah, down by number 23. That's Zay Fulton on that one. Backing the Jags up, but they're going to have the opportunity at the ball, but it looks like we are going to be heading to the 4th quarter. And one thing I would like to look for Auburn, I know you're up big, and it's probably not on the top of your mind right now, but to score points in the 4th quarter. Yeah. Auburn's only scored 7 points all season in the 4th quarter. They played 4 games. And that came against the game-winning drive against Opelika. I'd like to see the Tigers finally play a full 4 quarters of football. Obviously, you're up big, so it's not the most paramount, but you're gonna need that one day when maybe what if you need to drive and hit Central? What if Moody comes closer than you think it's going to? What if Smith Station makes a play and tries to make an upset? You're gonna need to play full 4 quarters. That's what I'd like to see from Auburn right here. Meanwhile, for Jag, I'd like to see them hopefully get on the board, break the drought that they've had scoring against Auburn, and build some momentum they can take into next week.
Yeah, well, Auburn up currently 56-0. It's been a great game
going on right now. It looks like an absolute bonkers environment for the Duck right now. Even the players getting into it on the sideline.
Yeah, been a great game so far for the Tigers. Just looked outstanding, and you're really I'm glad to see it happen. You know, especially this week, you knew coming in that Auburn was probably going to be able to beat Jag. Jag's not as talented as this Auburn team, and Auburn needs this going into the next few weeks with a Moody team who's pretty tough, like you said, and then Central really tough. And then obviously you go to Smith Station, and then you come back home against Carver and then go to Dothan. Those are some really tough games left in 7A, so this Auburn team's got to fight.
Definitely, and we just showed them right there, the Auburn Tiger Marching Band. They've had a great performance at halftime. Up in the Air is, I believe, the theme of their show. So they were able to rock out the house at the Duck, and so good to see them having fun, enjoying some swag surf.
And now Auburn's defense still out there now, and obviously, as you mentioned, the running clock. So, you know, snap of a finger, this game might be over. So,
100%.
But now, Jag still trying to get everything adjusted. You know, want to see Jag maybe get on the board here. Let's see if Smith can get them maybe down to the end zone and possibly get on the board for the first time since 2021 against Auburn Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, you look, we saw King right there on the reception, looking his way again, maybe a deep shot to him.
That one's going to be intercepted by the Tigers, and he's going to be brought down, but another interception for Auburn. Just another turnover already for this Tigers team. And just a great job by Auburn reading that play there, and some great coverage.
Yeah, great job by Trey Smith. Is able to get it in double coverage, corral it, and get the interception. The intended receiver, the guy that we mentioned all night tonight, Christian Jackson, able to get the tackle, but Auburn taking back over just shy of midfield. They are going to have some opportunities to, again, continue to get that confidence up for some of these young guys and maybe put some points down in the fourth quarter.
You see Pate back out there once again for the Tigers, so Auburn going to get a chance to possibly score again. Going to hand it off here. Going to cut to the outside to about the 50-yard line.
Tucker Teal on that carry. Good stuff for him, just continuing to build confidence. That's what you're seeing right here. A lot of fresh faces into the game, and that's great to see for these kids. Just continuing to be proud to wear the blue, white, and black, and be an Auburn Tiger.
Yeah, you know, this Auburn team just right now just trying to get as many people in as possible. You know, obviously against Jag, you're going to play all your players, mainly just the way the score's been so far today. But yeah, hopefully to see the Tigers maybe get one more up there. Yep. Teal's still in the backfield. Going to be a pitch here. He's going to be brought down. See a Jag defenders bring down that reverse pass.
Yeah, that would be number 9, Ben Walker, the senior, getting that one on the little pop sweep, but the Jaguar defenders able to get around the edge and get the stop to that. Brings up 3rd and long here, and I'd be very interested to see what Coach Etheridge in this offense wants to do. Do you take a shot down the field? Yeah, you'd be adding a little bit of insult to injury, but you're able to get the first down and can keep the ball in your possession, or they just want to run it right here, continue to run that clock and continue to get the reps for the O-line, and maybe see some more young guys on defense momentarily.
Yeah, Teal's still in the backfield here for the Tigers. Pate's going to roll out. He's going to try to find a man open deep downfield, but he cannot. He's just going to throw this one short. Actually, almost was complete, but
intended receiver, his brother, James Pate. So, you know, some familiar connection right there, trying to get from 18 to 17, but instead it's going to bring up 4th and 13.
And so now the clock's still running. Auburn going to bring out the punting unit here for potentially what might be the last drive for the Jaguars. You see Cooper Bailey actually in the game now, back to punt for the Tigers.
Getting everybody settled up and on the field here. Take a little bit of time, but it's time you can afford to take right here, especially with a running clock. Good snap, man.
Yeah, Bailey going to punt that one deep here. That's just going to sail overhead. It's going to take a good Auburn bounce. Still going, and it is going to be down at about the 11-yard line. So Jag going to set up camp here at about the 11-yard line and hopefully continue maybe or hopefully start a pretty good drive here late.
It's been about new beginnings for this program. This school really as a whole The Jag Jaguars, obviously Jag is a abbreviation. It's actually named after 3 people I was looking at today. Just doing some research. It's actually named after 3 prominent civil rights leaders. So first you have Frank Dennis Johnson, a judge that actually helped with the Montgomery bus boycotts and actually stopped bus segregation. The A, Ralph Abernathy, was a pastor and activist in the civil rights movement. And finally, Robert Grates was a minister that helped organize the world-famous Montgomery bus boycott. So a legacy truly to be proud of on and off the field for Jag here. So it's always really interesting to know, what kind of history is here in Alabama that we can be able to really dive into and be educated, as we are a school first and foremost.
Now Jag gonna actually move the ball back a little bit, maybe a penalty or something there, but gonna just run the ball. Gonna find a little bit of a hole, but just brought down by basically that entire Tiger defensive line.
Yeah, and honestly, a really solid block right there by the O-line for Jag. They were able to get outside and get a couple yards, but not too many.
And now Jag on 2nd and 10 here. Gonna run it up the middle, gonna find a hole there for the Jaguars to about the 20-yard line and gonna be finally brought down.
That's
Trey Ross with the tackle.
Yep, 100%. And a big carry by Christian Williams is able to get it on the inside zone, bounce it to the outside, run through a couple Tigers defenders, and bounce like a bowling ball out past the 20 to about the 22-yard line. A big play as they try to get momentum. And hey, maybe we see a score here. Crazier things have happened in the dump.
So it's gonna be caught by a Jag defender. Trey Ross again with the tackle. And many don't know, but Trey Ross actually does play for the Auburn High basketball team.
Hey, a great 2-sport athlete. I think Greg Williams also plays, I want to say baseball or basketball. A good friend of mine, Nina De La Fosse, going to shout her out right here. She was able to sit down with Greg Williams for one of our projects last semester because obviously I am a journalism student at Auburn. And so she was able to sit down with him, kind of hear his life story, and it ended up being a really, really cool project. So she definitely was telling me he's a great guy and a great leader for this football team.
Has a pressure there, and it's going to be caught, but brought down.
That's going to be Marlo Harris on the reception, just shy of the 30-yard line, kind of on that corner out. Good throw right there by Smith, able to put it on the money, put it outside the numbers, and give Marlo the opportunity to use his body as a shield so that the defender can't rip through and potentially get another pick six for this Auburn High defense.
Yeah, and a great tackle there by Landon Rotten. Now going to be a 3rd down and short here for the Jaguars. He's going to be brought down. Just a great trip tackle. Got a shoelace tackle right there.
That's number 34, Pearson McDougald, on the linebacker right there. He's able to just cut the tree underneath, get the stop, and now is the punt team frolics onto the field right here. They're going to potentially get the ball back for Auburn's offense.
Yeah, so Auburn just going to let the clock run probably once they get the ball back in. Obviously, like you said, that probably is going to do it for them. They'll should win this game.
And again, it's rebuilding for Jag here. This is the first year of the Tolliver regime, and he's going to continue to build. He knows that we're going to be disciplined. We're going to play 4 quarters football, and that's what they're doing. You're not seeing a lot of quit on that sideline right there. They know they're running the ball. They're blocking hard. They know, hey, we have an opportunity here against some of the best teams in the state of Alabama to be able to play against them, learn what they do well, see what they do well, and become one of those teams eventually. And, especially in a city like Montgomery, they got a lot of high schools there. I've learned through my studies of Alabama high school football for this internship and these broadcasts. They have the resources there to do that. So it'll be really interesting to see how they develop over the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, now Pate and the offense are going to come back out there now as Tigers set up well here. Great field position, actually, just beyond midfield. About 4 minutes in the 4th quarter. And Pate's going to take it himself, actually, to the outside to about the 40-yard line. Almost gets hit late, but Jag able to avoid that penalty, and Pate with a great run.
Yeah, run out of bounds by number 5, Angelo Andrews, the sophomore. This is a very young secondary for Jag. You have sophomores at corners. You have only 1 senior in the secondary, so they're getting experience. They're learning on the job, and that's what you're going to be able to do, and you're going to see dividends pay up when these guys are juniors and seniors. They're going to have an experienced secondary. I wouldn't be very surprised if I heard that in a couple years.
And now Auburn faced with a 2nd and medium here for the Tigers. Man in motion. Going to be a fumble on the snap, and it is going to be recovered by the Jaguars. Their second forced fumble actually of this half. But yeah, Jag going to be able to recover the fumble.
Timothy Miles right there on the fumble recovery. He shot the gap right here. Watch on the blitz. Page just gets a little bit pressured, and that's where the ball is. Miles able to jump on top of it and take advantage. Jag will have the ball now close to midfield. Just the miscommunication on the sweep.
Yeah, Stephen Payne with the, I guess you could say, forced fumble, or like he forced the fumble there.
Yeah, just miscommunication. It's all operation, and that's why you give these young guys some reps here. As Christian Walker is able to get the ball and get a first down, and they are in Tiger territory. Could we be seeing the potential of some life from this offense late in this game?
Yeah, now with 2 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter, this Tiger team trying to get some men off the field. Trey Ross, the last one off. Looks like Jag going to be able to get it outside a little bit, but it's going to be brought down out of bounds. Almost got sacked back for a loss, but was able to get it back out of bounds.
And that's the tenacity of this defense. Savion Gilchrist on the carry, number 28. First time we've called his name tonight, but he is really good. Again, another two-way player. He was able to get the ball. Even if it's 5 yards, that's just continuing to march and march. I'd love to see them try and take some time out soon and be able to try and take advantage of this opportunity. Wes Smith bounces to the outside.
Yeah, Smith went down out at like the 30-yard line there.
So interesting. This team does not have a for sure place kicker based on my research. So I was able to do so. I would be surprised if they're taking shots at the end zone soon. But there is a flag. It's a hole. It's coming back.
Yeah, just a heartbreaker here for Jag. Not being able to score, not being able to do much all night tonight, and just miscues and loss of momentum.
Yeah, you see here on the replay. Watch. Number 7 at the top of the screen. He's holding him as he goes by. He doesn't let go. That's going to get called every time. You have to be aware of what's going on, where the ball is behind you, and once it passes, you got to let go because you're out of the play, and that's just a costly penalty that costed them a real opportunity at some points. Now it's going to be a little bit harder. It's going to push them to 2nd and 11. Just a tough break for the Jaguars.
And now Smith.
Not a lot of time left.
Yeah, Smith alone in the backfield now.
Would not be surprised if he tries to take a shot right here.
Yeah, he's actually going to roll out here, go to the 50, and then be pushed out of bounds past the 45-yard line. Smith already banged up tonight, so that hit right there, a very hard hit. And we're just now under 1 minute here to go in the fourth quarter.
Good job by Carter Chambly for running him out of bounds right there, getting the stop. And as the clock ticks away, we're about close to the end of this ball game. But I got to say, looking at the Jaguars, they've tried to play 4 quarters of football. They've competed to the end. And that's really what you got to give credit for as you build a program. I've said it many a times. This is going to be something that they can build off of, even if you throw out the final score. But hey, we did some good things. We did some bad things. Let's get in the meeting room on Monday. Let's talk about it, and let's see where we can go next week.
And you see now as the clock's kind of just rolling out now on Jag, just slowly getting the ball hiked, but doesn't look like they're going to be able to score here.
Maybe we see a Hail Mary right here, under 10 seconds to go. They're just going to take a short pass to LaKing Anderson, and he is going to drop it, and that will do it from the looks of it.
Yeah, and that is going to do it, as you said, Tripp, for the game. Auburn takes another win to improve to 4-1. They win 56-0 in this game against the Jaguars. But from me, myself, Reese Kinder, and my co-host, Tripp Upton, we hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and you guys have a good night.
Yes, thank you so much for letting me join the booth for tonight's game, Reese. It's been a great pleasure being with you guys the past couple of weeks in class, doing these broadcasts. It's been a real pleasure, real blessing. So I am so excited that I was able to finally get on the headset for one. And I also want to thank our wonderful crew behind in the control room. We have camera operators in there, new camera system. We had just, thanks to the investment that the Auburn High School has made with us. I want to thank our camera operators, replay operators, assistant producers, everybody, and especially our executive producer, Mr. Jared Dillard. He has been the man and the brains behind this whole operation, so I want to give him some credit, as this has been a great night. And so we get to end it off with an Auburn win, Reese, so I'm very happy. And you know what? We'll get to do it all again next week as
Yeah.
Auburn takes on Moody.